Meeting at 11 a.m. today to continue work on that bipartisan infrastructure bill. This coming as Democrats push for a separate $3.5 trillion spending bill. My next guest voted against the infrastructure proposal earlier this week. Tennessee Republican Senator Bill Hagerty joins us now. Senator, thanks for joining us.
Good to be with you, Charles.
Every time I look up, I know this old Christmas tree or Christmas ornament thing that happens down there as these bills approach the finish line and everyone tries to sneak things in, but it seems like it's gone from bad to worse in just the last 24 hours. What do you think?
It's like Groundhog's Day, Charles. I mean, they keep saying they've got a deal. I've been hearing this for weeks. You get right to the finish line and then they don't have one again. I do think they're close, but this has been extraordinarily frustrating, and it's extraordinarily damaging for the economy, what they're talking about.
One of the principal issues seems to be how green they can make this deal, even at the expense of patching roads. I mean, it's pretty transparent. It's pretty obvious. Do you think your colleagues will just at some point through attrition say, okay?
Well, I don't know what Chuck Schumer's ultimate goal is, but they've been pretty clear. They're going to push through this $3.5 trillion completely partisan package. It's a tax and spending spree, and as you say, it's the Green New Deal repackaged, and they're going to try to put it alongside this so-called bipartisan package, which, you know, really is just a shield for them, and it's actually a ploy to say that they've got bipartisanship, when indeed what they're really shoving through is everything that people worked hard to negotiate out of the bipartisan deal. It's not good faith, it's not compromise, and I don't see much bipartisanship in this at all.
Yeah, you talk about the fits and starts and how this has been going on for weeks now. Not long ago, President Biden actually took a victory lap on the bipartisan nature of this, only to almost immediately say it had to coincide with the $3.5 trillion. He's kind of walked that back, but Nancy Pelosi has not. And so is this really a bipartisan deal, or is it still being held hostage by this, to your point, this $3.5 trillion bill?
I think Nancy Pelosi has been very clear. She said she's not going to even look at the so-called bipartisan bill until she's got the $3.5 trillion package right in front of her. Again, I've been a business person all my life, Charles. You know how you spend more time sometimes negotiating out of a deal. You focus on what isn't in the deal, maybe sometimes more important than what is in it. And here we have all of the things that were negotiated out: the Green New Deal, raising death taxes, crippling taxes on corporations, killing the fossil fuel industry. That's what we're going to see in the $3.5 trillion package. It's going to be devastating to America.
Let's talk about inflation for a moment. Yesterday, consumer sentiment came in significantly below what Wall Street anticipated because the inflation read was at a 13-year high. Democrats continuously say that this $3.5 trillion will actually drive inflation down. It's an argument that turns economics 101 on its head, but it is something they're putting out there to the American public. What do you say?
Well, I think that if you look at the inflation that's already embedded in the economy, Charles, just go to the gas pump. Here in Tennessee, gasoline prices are up 60 or 70% since Biden took office. That every good that we buy has to be transported. That's inflationary. You look at home prices here in Nashville. They're up 15, 20%. That means rents are up. All of this is feeding inflation, and it's not temporary. Then you talk about the March so-called COVID relief package that was $1.9 trillion. You add to this the $1.2 trillion bipartisan package, the $3.5 trillion that Nancy Pelosi is talking about not doing until she gets it all, all put together. We're looking at perhaps 3 to 4 times the size of our normal GDP when this all gets scored, dumped into our economy in 1 year. That is inherently inflationary.
I've got a minute to go. I know that there's a lot of talk about trying to maybe extend eviction moratoriums, and I'm also hearing just some talk also maybe even extending the federal unemployment benefits because of the rise of the Delta variant. Are you hearing that at all?
I've heard about it, but I'll tell you what I'm hearing from employers, Charles. We've got far more job openings here in Tennessee than we have people that are unemployed. We need to get people back to work, and what the federal government is doing is disincentivizing work. Our employers are competing against the federal government. It's devastating for the economy. It's hard on people, too. People need the pride of work, and I think it's really unfortunate when you've got the federal government cutting the other direction.